So just so you guys can see, just a simple crock pot that I use, nothing big, it's right from Walmart. And on this dish, what I like to do is I put, and I like to stack them. I should have showed you a little bit, but just really nice tilapia fillets. And what I've done is kind of, you can see I've layered them in there so they stick. And I put the round-ended part of the fish, kind of that real nice, upside down so the flats are up. It makes it really easy with a nice spatula later to peel it off. And I just kind of stack them around in a ring. So there's actually 3 layers of fish. And just a little bit of organic olive oil. It gives it that nice little glisten. And I put my spices, which you can see here. And I like to just use some nice organics. A little bit of ground turmeric, cayenne pepper, and of course some cinnamon, which is great for, our blood pressure lowering, blood sugar and everything, so said organically. So a little bit later we'll pop up and we'll see how nice these fillets come out, and then how we can chop them up real easy. Let's fall apart. And I set the actual device on just high, and I found that about 5 hours really makes these fillets turn out just delicious. The key to it is just adding just a spoonful, about a teaspoon of olive oil on each one, and kind of rubbing it on the top before you put your seasoning on them. And of course, just coating that bottom with real nice organic olive oil. And it'll keep it from sticking, and it works just terrific. 5 hours, and it's a great, great meal. So I brought in my clean cabbage, which just a little bit of vinegar, some cold water, and a nice pan. And I was able to just really clean it really good. It's a great idea to always clean your produce with some just white vinegar. And you'll see that I got just a really nice crisp sleeve. I just pulled off the top. But one of the things I want to point out before we get going, if you have, once you get going, that smaller cabbage, which is great for tacos, I like to do a quick, easy way to keep those leaves. It's just kind of come to the base where you see the stem, that hardy part of this. And it's a great place, and if it's really cold, I keep it just a little bit of water in my pan. And it will just really nice, if you take your time, just kind of peel right off of there and make us a great, perfect shell. So I'm going to grab this one just to show, because I like this size. And you look, you just see that cold, crisp water that's in there. Just adds that snap to everything. So it's wonderful. Just a really good leaf. Doesn't have too much flavor. The red cabbage adds a lot of too much sugar to me. And so I kind of steer next to that, and I stay with the green cabbage. It's lower in carbs and low sugar. And what I'll do is, I love to just take one of my fillets that we pulled out, and I'm going to bring it right in. So I kind of halved one of these fillets down that I took out. So I'm going to bring in, and I'm just going to set it right there in the center. You'll see how that just fits real nice in there. A lot of people like to grind them up, and chunk them like in restaurants, but I kind of prefer, I don't know why, you might want to do differently. I'll just set them in there. And just so it has a real nice feel, and you can see that fillet, both sides, just really nice. That's a good thing about stacking them, because it just gets that rich flavor. You can move them around a little bit to position them so it's kind of in that taco kind of shape or burrito style, because we're going to roll these eventually. And you want to let the shell just warm up a little bit with that hot flavor, and that juice is going to continue to come off of this and just soak into that leaf. It'll start getting it on the bottom. You'll see it'll get a little bit warm. Now, one of the cool things I love to do, and it's just my personal favorite, is I love just a pinch, about 2 teaspoons of sliced almonds. You'll see here I'm taking out, I kind of prearranged them for us. And I do just a little bit of walnuts. Gotta love those omega-3s, they're terrific for you. A big cheat of mine is, I know it seems a little awkward, but just a pinch of organic coconut shredded. And I will just add it just in there just a little bit. It just gives it just a different texture, a little bit different taste. And it's really a nice thing to have in with your fish taco. It just gives a little bit of a sweetness characterization to that. And a big deal for me is, of course, avocado, which I love it with everything. It's one of the best fats we can have for ourselves. So for a second, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to bring in my cutting board. And I'll show you a great little trick as I move these back to how you can actually take an avocado and just real easy, watch your fingers. And you want to get ones that are kind of darker a little bit. And I always say to touch it. You don't want it to be squishy, but you don't want it to be real hard. Just a little bit where you can dent in with your finger or your thumb. And they pull apart terrific. I like to take them from this point and just make real easy slices. And you can see inside of here. Down. And just right on the edge, you can see how nice that starts coming. And it's real easy then if you want to have that kind of restaurant feel, just a real easy go around the ring. And I tell a lot of people that just do it backwards with your knife. If these are nice and ripe and you won't cut yourself, and they just literally will pop right out and make really nice little slices. You can also take, if you're making kind of the avocado, if you really want to grind it up, if you like yours a little bit mushier, and just scrape it with the back side of your knife so you don't ever cut through to your hand. As a kid, I did that once, and you could ask my parents and my grandmother and my grandfather, as he gave me my first pocket knife, oh, I almost cut my thumb off, so little fair warning. And this is great for composting then, don't throw all your ends. Put them in a little compost that you have, keep them in, you can put it for your garden. We'll bring back our shell now, and I'm going to just slide the board so we can bring our piece in so we can see everything. You have our avocado there, and that end we'll just lightly put in there. And again, I'm just going to take a couple of our slices and I'll just stick them in there. These are great substitutes for a lot of people will put in junk in their sandwiches. I love avocado in mine. It gives you that smooth texture. I never eat really mayonnaise or anything, but that's kind of how our center is. A key thing too, before you go cleaning out your crock pot, is that roux that's in the bottom. It's wonderful. So I love to keep the roux myself. I'll pull this out and I'll bring our crock pot in. It just has a little bit in that bottom there of this really nice olive oil mixture, which you can see is just wonderful. So if you just take that, and I'm going to slide everything back out and bring our taco back in, and you just drizzle it on there, just on that top. Makes a wonderful, wonderful little additive to it. And there it is. And then all you have to do is roll it up. And we have our taco.